And let's see what happens here. All right. I think we're live. This is my first chance running the show here. See how this goes. Here chatting with Javo again. Maybe we'll get into some rants. Maybe we'll get into some weird football game dev topics, and maybe we'll just go off topic. Who even knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to make sure that you know me, that the volume's good.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't hear. Can you hear the video I'm playing right now? Oh, you can?
Not yet, but let's see. If I switch over to you, if I switch over to your content, I don't hear it.
No, I think the mics sound good. We'll let them tell us if anybody, shows up here, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if the volumes were okay. But it sounds like it's taking care of it for us, I think.
It seems like it. I don't have a lot of options for messing with it, but when you came right on, it sounded really good right away. I remember that one time we got interviewed by I don't even remember who that was.
It is. And then I guess like the chat is going to go through the your chat window in this thing, right?
Oh yeah, see?
Oh, I like that. How'd you
Isn't
do
that cool?
Yeah.
I sound like I'm in a can. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, your mic does sound like I don't know.
Does
it
it
doesn't
sound
sound like
does my mic
your normal
weird?
one.
Wonder what's going on with that. It's weird because I can't hear it. So
it doesn't sound bad. No, it sounds fine.
Yeah,
so we have people in there. Can you show you can't show the chat though. How do I see the chat on this thing? Let me see. Exit full screen.
Boy,
I guess I gotta exit full screen maybe.
That is a good question.
Comments. Here we go.
I sound like I'm in an empty room. Yeah, that's a little weird. I don't really know why. I'll have to work on that a little bit.
Maybe it's a setting in your StreamYard. If you go to audio, echo cancellation. Do you have that checked?
Audio. I do have it checked.
Automatically adjust mic.
How's that sound now?
I think it sounds better.
Does it? Okay.
Automatically adjust mic. So disable this option to manually adjust your mic with a slider. No, you could do that. Yeah. All right.
Weird. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, well, I have to go to your.
Yeah,
I have to go to your YouTube video to comment. I think you can comment on here. So I need to actually go to yours if I want to write a comment in. But yeah, we can get started. We're just going to be doing a casual live stream. And, if you guys have any topics you want us to talk about, then obviously let us know. And we'll do that.
Yeah, a big part of this is just us getting the bugs worked out of this system. I just got this, right? Like anybody who saw my YouTube video, I just got Paint Shop. So I'm trying to be big time. I'm trying to get there.
Paint Shop. You mean Photoshop?
Photoshop. Whatever. Yeah. See, I don't even know what these things are. That's how small time I am right now, is I don't even know what these software that I'm using is. It's so funny.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I'm getting there slowly. But the big reason, you know this, I don't know if anybody else knows, but the big reason I'm trying to step my game up a little bit is because I've decided we're going to give it another shot and go full-time game dev.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. Starting in right around a week. I think not this week coming up, but the week after that will be my first week full-time.
Okay.
So it's time, right? I'm not getting any younger. Figure if I'm going to give it a shot, I got to do it now before I'm so old that I'm tired all the time. So
you're young, man. You're young. Keep it going.
I don't feel that young, man. You should have seen me yesterday. I swear I had to nap like 10 times because I went for a run too many days in a row.
Oh, I woke up. I didn't brush my teeth last night, which I never ever do that. And then I woke up in the middle of the night like 4 times. I'm like, get up and go wash up. Get up and go wash up. And I finally got up like at 5 a.m. And I'm like, and I went to wash up and I came back and I was up for like an hour in bed. And I'm like, I can't. That's why I prolonged it all night. Cause I knew if I got up, I would never go back to bed. And that's basically what happened. So yeah, getting old, it's hard to get your sleep in. And I don't nap. I can't nap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you can stop sharing my screen now. I don't want to see this bear thing anymore. I was just bumping it up for a second.
Yeah, we're just we're just trying things out. We're gonna have quite a bit of that stuff. So one other reason why we're jumping into StreamYard and I'm hosting this instead of Javo's hosting it. One, just because Javo has always wanted me to host these, so he can just chat instead
It
of
takes the
trying to
pressure off
sit.
of me. I don't have
Yeah,
to worry
you don't
about
have to
looking
sit
at
in the
20
command
things.
chair, right?
Yeah. And StreamYard also probably will help us be a lot more efficient too. So you don't have to worry about it as much,
Oh my
hopefully.
god, this is so much easier than what you were trying to do through OBS.
Really?
This is easy. StreamYard just
Yeah.
basically does it all for you. Now the downside is I don't have a ton of options. But I got enough. I don't know, it's pretty cool. So
No,
far I like
you
it.
have quite a bit. I mean, how do you highlight the text, like the comments like that? That was pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
got this so I have this chat. Let me see if I can share this. I wonder how weird this is going to be if I share StreamYard. All right, so I'm going to share this just so you can kind of see what I'm getting on this side. Let's share this. Yeah, but if you look over here, I get the chat on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each time I can like click on any chat and there's a show button, and when I click show, it pops that comment up. So if anybody says something really cool, right?
That is pretty cool.
It is actually really cool.
And
Yeah.
you could record these at the same, well, YouTube's recording it for you. So
Yeah, StreamYard also records it for you, which is really cool.
not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, there's just a lot of really cool things like it's got this. I don't know when I would use this, but this is pretty cool. I can throw a little ticker on the bottom. That's pretty cool.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. And you can just pop text in there.
Yeah, you can just pop text in there.
Nice. Can you put like avatars for us on there too? On our names?
There's a way to. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Right? There's a little permanent banner I can throw up there and take off. So there's some cool things that we can do. There's a whole brand section I haven't even gotten to yet.
Nice.
Breaking news. Right. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be kind of fun. It'll be fun to goof around with. And I'm really gonna dive into it because my plan is, now that I go full time, I'm gonna try to stream regularly. Maybe not really long streams, but I'm thinking of doing streams. I was telling you about this, right? Doing streams to get through some of the boring work that I have to do all the time. And here's like my biggest boring work thing I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You might recognize these. These are my logos. I think a lot of these were in Cyber League. I was using some of these in Desktop Dynasties too, but like these are a lot of the old logos. Well, I got a bunch more logos I got to process. And processing logos is super boring. So I'm thinking like, well, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could stream while I'm doing this grind work, right? While I'm processing a bunch of logos, and just chat with people. So that's one thing. Play.
What do you mean when you say process logos? What does that mean?
Yeah, so I get all my logos from Shutterstock, and so here's a good example.
It's so smart to do that too, because you just get them cheaper and they're high quality, and I've never seen these before, so who cares, right?
Yeah. So like this robot one, right? Or this alien one. Let's take a look at him. The way that I have the uniform creator set up in Head Coach Football is the same logo file will go on the helmet of the players. That's also what goes into the interface whenever you see a logo, like on the standing screen or the trade screen or the schedule screen. It's that same logo file. I just shrink it down or I mask it so it goes off the top and bottom of the row. I also use that same logo file for the field, for end zones and center field art and things like that. So it's got to be transparent. Like there's just a bunch of requirements I have for a logo file so that I can use the same logo over and over and over. And when you get them off of Shutterstock, it's got a background, and then there's always words and weird things that they pizzazz them up to try to make you want to buy them. So there's a certain amount of Photoshop I got to do.
Cleanup work you got to do.
Yeah, make them transparent to get rid of all the artifacts, and there's just a lot of weird things I got to do. Like change the border to white, or like this rooster one, maybe add a second border around it. You got to have a
Mm-hmm.
border around it so it stands out on helmets, things like that. Um, like Santa Claus is already pretty good. He's got the white border, but a lot of these don't. So
Yeah.
just stuff like that. But it's boring, right?
Oh yeah.
It's so boring. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
well, I could
It's grunt
stream and
work.
chat. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
stream and chat, answer questions, maybe get ideas, and then play designs the same way, right? After you making the first 5 plays in a sitting is fun. The next 20 plays are kind of boring, you know. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're making a game as big as head coach is going to be, I got to make probably like 1,000, 2,000 plays.
Yeah,
So
plays are tough. I got one of the guys in the Discord working on a playbook for Legend Bowl 2. So he's off and running and he's having a great time. So I'm luckily enough I have the fortune of having somebody help me, but yeah, it's a lot of work.
yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
wants to do
and
that
it's
work.
boring. So it's like you keep putting it off, because how much fun is it to sit down and grind through something that you know is boring? But I'm thinking if I could get online and maybe chat with a couple of people, or if I'm making plays, have them on the fly design a play as I'm building it. That could be fun. I think it could be fun.
Yeah. I need more logos, they're saying in LB2.
Well, I need so many logos because I have 3 full leagues, right? I mean,
That's right.
Legend Bowl 2's got the 32 teams. I think I'm up to 250 teams or 300 teams in my game. So I need a lot of logos. There's going to be some repeats, but I need a lot of logos.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of teams. But for me, it's like, I have the 32 teams and I have the ability to mod so people have their own. But I know when going to consoles, it's going to be huge to have more logos. But at this point, we're going to have the logos we have and next round for the game. If I get there, then yeah, of course. I'd love to have a logo editor in the game where you can make your own logos, but all that stuff is console related, like if you have
Yeah.
a PC, you guys know you can mod, so throw them in there and do it. But for consoles, I know it's something that people want, and we'll have it eventually, hopefully.
Yeah, that in-game logo editor. You're right. I don't see any reason to have it if it's just PC, but consoles, it's kind of the only way
Yeah,
to
and
to
I don't even know
customize
how
your
much
league.
work it's going to take to do it. I mean, I have ideas from people I've seen, but it's like that grunt work and that stuff that you already have it, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, you already have a way to do it on PC, and then to do it for consoles, which is part of what I want to talk about today, is the
Yeah.
console porting, and we can get to that at some point, and
Well, we can
just
get to
walk
that
through that.
now if you want. We're already kind of talking about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I mean, people, it's funny because like you want to when you're doing indie dev, right? You have to wear many hats, and you want to like please everybody, and you want to make sure that everybody has the latest information. But you think about like game, like I've been waiting for a golf game for forever, and I know PGA Tour, they've pushed it back. The 2K series, they've pushed theirs back to I think next year. But you don't hear anything from AAA companies ever. Like they don't tell you anything,
No,
and
no.
and people expect indie devs to tell them everything, and that's part of the that's part of the cool thing about us, is that we're more transparent. But then I get asked every single day, and I appreciate it. I was watching somebody else today that responded, and somebody said, "Hey, when's it going to be on consoles? We'd love for it to be on consoles." And I'm like, "We're working on it," all happy. When I hear it, I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I know." Like, when's it going to come out? I have no idea. Like, I don't have an exact date, but that's the thing. It's like you start hearing it every day, and you're like, "Man, I know they're excited. Well, I'm excited," but you're also doing all the work, and you sometimes feel like just saying, please, like, hang in there, we're going to get to it. But we are, for all of you who are waiting, people are waiting for the console, and we'll see how it goes. You and I are trying to see uh how well it does, and
Yeah.
hopefully it does well. But we're working on it, and the work it takes to go from PC to console is tremendous. There's a lot that goes into it, making your code just run on every console efficiently at a 60 frame per second performance level. And then you also have all the data structures. Like every single console has their own data formats that they use for your files. And then, like for my game, there's a lot of modding stuff that happens. All that stuff needs to be excluded because you really can't mod on,
Oh,
on
yeah.
consoles with
Yeah,
like
I
you
didn't
do on
even think of
PC.
that.
And yeah, there's a lot there that goes into it. And then so there's just a lot to do. But I have a publisher that I'm working with. They're the ones that are working on the game. One of the hurdles that we had to do was to upgrade from the last major version of a Game Maker. And Game Maker loves to throw things at us every time. I'm sure Unity does it as well. These game engines just want to get, I don't know why, they want to just blow everything up sometimes. And they've totally like messed up my entire game. So the publisher's working on that. Yeah, and the publisher's working on that, and you know this as well. The publisher's working on getting the game upgraded, and we are at that point. And they're also pushing it over to consoles, but there's things that have to be fixed for the upgrade, then there's things that have to be ported over for the consoles. But we are trying to shoot for somewhere in October this year to get the game out on consoles. And
Cool.
that's a rough date. It could come December, it could come out earlier, but there's a lot to do, and I'm super excited about it. My only problem is, what do I do in between, as as we've talked about. But that's what we're doing with consoles. So anybody who wants to know, you heard it here. If you watch this video, if you get to it somehow, there's your answer. So don't ask me anymore unless and I'll tell you when it's coming out. If you want to ask me, it's fine, but I won't have an answer. And when I do, I'll be sure to make sure I tell everybody.
Cool.
So there's my update.
There's your update, right? Everybody thinks it's a secret. It's funny too that I see those comments too. We pop that up there. Talk about head coach.
That's
Yeah,
cool that
we'll talk about.
shows.
I'll tell
Can
you
you
what,
leave-
man. I'm gonna use the hell out of this thing. This is gonna be fun as hell.
You can leave that up
comments.
there like that, right? You can leave the comment up.
Yeah, I just leave it up if I want.
I like it.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about head coach, because I just said this here. I'm going to probably have to send a tweet out to people, because I get asked every day, and that's awesome. Like, it's great. Like, trust me, I want people to ask me all day long, because it tells me that people care and they want to potentially buy it. But it's been so long for me that I've been dying for it to go on console. So trust me, I'm the first one in line that wants to find out when it's coming out on console. And people are asking me like I'm holding back information. I'm not. Trust me, it's coming. I just don't know when. And I can't wait. I can't wait to play it on Switch. I can't wait.
Oh my god! I don't have a Switch. My son, I think, has 2 or 3 Switches. So wow. I'm definitely gonna try it. I'm really, really interested. I've talked about this a number of times. I'm really interested to see how this console release goes. Just because I just don't know. I don't know. This is gonna be a huge. It could. For a while, I was thinking multi-millions of dollars, and then I see some stuff, and I think, console players aren't going to like it, and then I keep going back and forth, and it's nowhere in the middle. It's always the extremes, right? If you're going to be a multi-millionaire overnight, or you're going to be like, "What the hell, man? Nobody bought it." So I have no idea.
I don't even like to talk about multi-millions, because I think that's crazy expectations, and I don't think for a second. I mean, but that's what's cool about doing this, is that you don't really know, and it's a good thing and a bad thing. But if it could come out and it could do that well, then that would be pretty cool. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So Phenomenal View wants to talk head coach. Watch, we're gonna use. Oh,
let's do it.
Somebody just. There we go. I love this comment thing, man. I'm gonna abuse that so bad when I'm doing play design streams. This is gonna be way too much fun for me. What's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna just like goof around streaming and stuff, and I'm never gonna actually get any game dev done.
You're gonna become a professional game streamer.
Oh, I know. Well, professional means you make some money, right? That won't be me. All right. I got my game designer up. So, I might as well just say, like, where am I at right now? Right now, I've got everything. All the AI is ported over from Desktop Dynasties 2. But actually, it won't make sense to you guys. But the problem is, this game is so much bigger and so much more detailed. There's a lot more ratings specifically that go into a player. And you know what? Actually, maybe I will bring it up. You guys don't mind seeing code. What the hell?
Oh, right? That's a referee. Okay, cool. I didn't know who that guy was.
Oh, yeah, I got a referee on there, man.
That's pretty cool.
Look at this guy.
Nice.
That guy's dope.
He looks cool, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
just
that kind of art style just because it's so different than Madden and everything that you can get away with it, and it looks
yeah,
good.
I love it. I like this guy. Yeah, and it also just feels more fun. I mean, it's just a model. Like, who cares? But it just feels fun, and that's a big part of what I want to do. Is I want the game not to feel like work or a grind or anything like that, but I want it to feel fun. And you can't see this yet, but I'll bring it up here in a second. So why I keep talking about how hard it is to port everything over from Desktop Dynasties 2. I'll just share this whole screen. What the hell? That'll make it easier. Um, and the biggest reason is players. Players are more detailed. If you remember all of my other games, one of my goals was to make it as simple and streamlined as possible because I wanted the focus to be on the management of the team and your decisions as a team. Well, like the more games I've made in that style, the more I've realized like there's a piece missing where by streamlining the ratings, it really became a game about managing your dollars and your roster spots and just gathering the best talent at any position. And the secondary concern was who fits your team style. So I'm going the opposite way in this game. I'm going 100%, like I'm really diving into what makes players different from each other, what makes them special. And if you look at the ratings, right, these are all some things that I've added. Let me try to see if I can zoom in.
I like how you put comments in there like that. I think it's kind of
Sometimes
nice.
I forget what they are, and you'll see why
Yeah,
here in a second.
I'm a little
Oh,
bit sloppier when I do my code. I know. I like this though.
yeah, and I
You're
do it
neater than
because
I
I
am.
have so many variables that I forget, and I do that a lot. But like stuff like injuries, I've got a whole injury section now about injuries and fatigue. Injuries and fatigue are going to be a thing now. They never really
Hmm.
were before. Fatigue meaning like if you know a player is like the workhorse of your team over the course of the season, that could wear them down. Stuff like that.
Hmm.
I've got a lot of intangible stuff that's kind of built in. Right now, it's just clutch, consistency, confidence, big games. There's a bunch of other things that are in there, but like this is going to be really big for college and high school leagues more so than the pros. But the pros, it will matter too. Like you'll have certain quarterbacks or running
Wow.
backs or defenders at the end of games, at the end of tight games that come up big, and you'll have other ones that flounder in big playoff games, things like that.
That's pretty detailed. I like the way you're breaking out the stamina and the energy and everything, and I mean, and then the injury prone and all that
Yep.
stuff, and then the clutch and the big. I like the big games thing. That's a cool
Yep.
one.
That
That's
one's going
like,
to be cool for, you
yeah,
know, because we all know, right? There are, especially quarterbacks, you see it all the time. But like receivers, you see it every once in a while.
yeah.
When it's the
Sire
big
zero
moment,
three two nine says home field and away should matter a bit too. And yeah, do you have that in there
yep,
too, like home and away?
yep. So home and away is going to that's going to be big. It will matter. It'll be baked into these mental attributes, and a lot of this is also going to be based on your coach, right? So there's going to be a whole separate bit about the coaches, and we'll get to that when the coaches. I haven't designed the coaches yet, but I've got a plan for it where a lot of these things are going to be affected by coaches. So some coaches will be really good at bringing the best out of their players on the field, and that'll be things like in big moments calming players down or big games getting players up and just a lot of that stuff, making sure they're more. Some coaches will be better at making their players more consistent, coaches will be more inspirational. Um, but then there's like a different type of coach who maybe isn't very good at that, but maybe is really good at player development, right? Like training camp type stuff. And then
Yeah.
maybe there's another coach that's really good at stuff like recruiting and trading and
There are
team
so many
building stuff.
layers that you can do with
Yeah.
football. It's amazing. Like you can go through so many different parts and pieces when, when you're trying to add stuff. And the only problem, some of the problem with that is it's one thing, like when you're talking through it, it sounds awesome. And then I start thinking, okay, how do you, how do you convey that to the user and the
Yep.
player where it's a meaningful thing, where people can control it, where people can actually see the difference between a big game player and a not, and that's where, you have to kind of follow through all the way and make sure your design makes its way to, to the player back to where they have some control,
Yep.
feedback, and that whole loop that has to happen there. But no, when you think about football, man, you can go so deep, and it sounds like that's what you're kind of doing here.
Yeah, yeah. And then I got this whole other system here where it's the skills by position. Think of this as anti Madden cheese, right? Anti EA cheese, where you take your 99 speed corner and you play him at wide receiver or running back or scrambling quarterback and you just dominate, even though it's a corner. Well, this whole system is meant to, I guess, simulate that concept of positional knowledge, right? If you work out every day with the wide receivers, you're going to be a better wide receiver than somebody who doesn't work out every day with the wide receivers,
Hmm.
right? If you played running back your whole life, you're going to be better at running back than a similarly talented guy who just comes in off the street and tries to
So
play
you do
running
this
back.
because you allow players to change positions, right?
They can change positions, but you can't be an expert at the new position right away. You could physically be dominant, but mentally you won't be dominant. And this is that mental aspect of how well do you know your position. So
Mm.
there's that whole system. Then you get into the nitty gritty skills of playing football, right? And if you just look at the quarterbacks here, um, every little thing that the quarterback does on the field, I kind of have a rating for them now. As before, it was all sort of baked into one or two or three ratings. Now it's all different. Like there's a gunslinger rating where some quarterbacks will play a little more like Brent Favre than like Peyton Manning. There's a scramble rating, right? There's a rating for reading pre-snap. How good are you at pump fakes and play actions? Right? Pocket awareness is now different than the running rating, which is different than the scramble rating, right? Um, one other thing that I didn't have before that I have now, there's a read quickness rating, which is how quickly can you read from receiver to receiver. But there's also a read openness rating, which is new, which is okay, yeah, you read the receiver, but how accurate is your read? Are you going to throw into coverage or not? So I've kind of just taken what rating system I had in Desktop Dynasties 2, and I've just exploded it. And it's huge now. And every position has something similar to this. So now you can kind of see like, okay, well, Desktop Dynasties 2, I got the game engine working in 3 days. This is going to take me a little bit longer because it's a lot deeper and it takes a lot more into consideration. But I think in the end, it's going to be a lot more fun. So
Yeah, I can see like all of these like detailed variables you have here. Like you can definitely go into a rabbit hole which with each of these, but it brings variety, diversity, and that's kind of what I
yeah,
want to bring to the next version of Legend Bowl whenever I work on it. There's so much room for improvement when it comes to the depth of the gameplay, and
yeah,
and and right now a lot of things are working pretty well, but the diversity and the difference between one player and another, and even being able to switch positions, all that stuff, is possible. And you have some pretty cool stuff in there. I mean, like there, you can get really deep. I bet you Madden doesn't have this stuff in there. I can guarantee you that. No matter what they show you, they don't have this. No
yeah.
way.
And one of the fun things for me is when I'm plugging it into the engine and seeing how it all works. Like Run Vision is my favorite new rating right now, right here. Um, just to mention your comments, right? I have to lead comments like this to myself. 100 equals good. It's like I forget otherwise.
Oh,
But
that's
like,
that's good to have because there so many times I can look at my variables and I'm like, what was
yeah.
like I have like throw power, and throw power for mine is actually backwards. Like 0 is top, I think, and 100 is like 0.
Oh,
So it's like I have to remember whenever I go in there which is which, and
I
that's
know.
good.
I know.
Yeah.
I forget to. But like Run Vision's my new favorite one. And this is basically if you're running forward with the ball, how far laterally can you see holes and make decisions and cut? So really, you could be a great running back that with really quick decision making, but maybe your vision is very narrow and you're kind of a a forward runner. You don't really make a lot of cuts and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Or you could be maybe you don't make decisions very quickly, but you have high vision and you can make really wide cuts. That's been implemented in the game engine, and it's been really kind of fun to put these new things in the game engine and see what comes out. And that's cool. But the flip side of that is I've also had a bunch of these ratings that I put in the game engine, and I'm like, I don't like what that does. And I take it out. So it's been kind of fun to build this from scratch again and see what works and what doesn't work, because it's been kind of a long time since I've really made this big of a change to
Oh
the
yeah,
football
you're
engine.
on your way to full development again, and
Yeah.
you've learned so much from every game that the next game that you work on is going to have a lot of the the bells and whistles and things that you kind of never knew you needed. Now you're
Yep.
creating better ideas and you're making a better mouse wheel, and that's cool. That's cool, man. I think about I always think about that football tactics and glory game. I always think about that game because that game has like this morning when I woke up in bed and I was waiting for me to fall back to sleep after washing up. I was thinking about that game and I was thinking, how could I make a football game like that? Like, is there a way I can do it? If you want to share my screen, you can, unless you
Yep.
want to keep this, but I could just
Now we can
show a
buzz over
quick,
to you.
yeah, a quick screenshot. But this game is you guys are familiar with it. I know you play this game.
Oh yeah,
So
I've
I've
played
seen
that for
your
quite a
channel.
while.
Yeah, and I was watching their dev log video the other day and how they started to make this game, and it's pretty intuitive. And soccer you can probably get away with it more, but I've always I've been thinking about if I were to make a different game on the side, and while I wait for this to magically grow on consoles and get there, like I would love to start a game like this for football, and it could be like backyard football, like when we used to play in the streets. You have a couple guys, or we used to go to the field with our friends. We would only have so many people, and you'd have three on the line, maybe or two on the line, two linemen, and just have it less than your normal 11 people, maybe, and then so dumb it down, and then just try to find a way to do some kind of a strategy game with it. I think that'd be a pretty cool idea. I just don't
Yeah.
know really
That's
the
kind of
ins
where
and
I was
outs of how
going
to
with
do it.
backyard football. Yeah. Just the smaller number of players, and you just kind of pick teams and play. I think backyard is a little more dumbed down than what you're thinking.
Yeah,
But
backyard, was that going to be a concept where you're playing as the players, or you're thinking about doing a
yeah, that
strategy
was
like
one.
this?
That was back. That was when I was thinking you were going to play as the players. But I kind of like your idea a little bit more of making something similar to this with fewer players and um, some of the team building of backyard. I thought would be cool. But I kind of like what your idea is going, where that's going.
Well, you and I have talked about this many times, and there's not an easy way to do it. We haven't found the
Yeah,
formula on how to do it to make it
yeah,
fun. But it just, the cool thing about it is that you don't have to worry so much about actual on field gameplay. Yeah, the strategy part's hard, and that's going to be really difficult to pull off, but it just kind of simplifies it where you can get away with not being a AAA company and find a way to make the gameplay feel fun without really having to worry about all of the chaos that happens in a football game. So I think about stuff like this all the time, and
yeah.
and then I end up not doing anything. But even that's pretty cool what they did there. Like they have a lot in
Yeah,
this game, and they're a small little company, and I know they're in Ukraine too. So hope they're all right over there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That would be a cool one to do. I think that would be
I,
fun to work on.
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know what else is going on. What else are you working
Nothing.
on
What
these
do
days?
you guys want to talk about
Or
anything in the chat? I'm trying to see the chat
pop
here.
that
Let's
guy
see.
up again.
That guy's, do they have running animations for this stuff, or you have to figure all that out too?
These guys have they can work with humanoid animations. So the thousands of animations I already have, I can use on these guys, which is part of the reason I really like I picked these models.
Mm-hmm.
So um, yeah, the animations should be good. I still haven't decided what kind of animation I want to use. If I want to use the standard Unity way of using animation with the clips and the mechanism,
Yeah, I know
right?
Charlie uses these guys too. I
Yeah, with
think it's
this
Charlie from
thing,
our
right?
yeah.
I don't know if I want to use this or if I want to use that motion matching system. Um, I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
But you have options
Yeah,
with that with
I'm
this.
making it so I could use either. Um, so I'm not stressing out about it right now. I have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah,
A
don't
little bit.
stress about this.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. As far as what do you guys have any comments or any topics you want us to talk about? I mean, we're I wanted to jump on with Shawn. We always go back and forth. We're like, hey, you want to do a stream? Part of this was trying to check out the StreamYard software, and I think it's pretty damn cool. Um, sounds like they want to hear some stuff about the.
Yeah, he wants to hear about the motion system. So
You should keep those comments up so we can. I'd like
yeah,
to read. What did it say on there? He wants to
there you
hear
go.
about the motion system you mentioned. Oh, okay.
So let me find it real quick. Um, yeah, so motion matching is basically, I'm going to look it up on YouTube here. Motion matching. Um, oops, that's Google. Yeah, so think of motion matching. So, see, now I'm trying to do, see, now I know where you were getting into trouble. I was trying to do too many things.
You could
Right?
pop up. There's another comment in there. I can answer this
Well,
while you're
yeah,
doing that
answer
if you
that.
want. From Jesse, he's saying, "Would I consider a Kickstarter or similar for Legend Bowl 2 whenever I start the game?" And Kickstarter, I would consider it, but I think part of my thing too is that Legend Bowl 2 is going to be heavily contingent upon how well the first one does, right? Not so much a Kickstarter. So I think if Legend Bowl 1 doesn't do the best, then I would probably think about a Kickstarter because that would, fuel the development for Legend Bowl 2. But yeah, it's an idea. It's an idea for sure. And, it's just a matter of what kind of funding I'm in need of at that point. But consoles are going to make millions, so I'm not really worried about it.
That's right. Money won't even be an issue soon.
Millions of pesos.
Oh my god. Hey, here's a good test. Can you hear this?
No, I can't hear it.
Okay, I gotta somehow figure out how to get sound to go through this. But basically, motion matching is this is the system that I use for motion matching.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that was the one that you were telling me about,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So, what's the difference between motion matching and clip animation? So, here's a good explanation. Um, Let me try to see if they have a good way of describing it. You can kind of see it here. There's these little green dots in this system, and then there's these dots back here, right? So for basic running, if you use the mechanism system, the old Unity system, what you have to do is if you're running a certain way, you either pass in, you either flip a trigger that says turn on running animation, turn off other animations, and then Unity will make your guy do the running animation. Now, if you want to do like a lean to the left or to the right, you send into the animation system um, via variables and like a mixer tree. It says, all right, lean to the left 20%, and then you have to have a lean to the left animation. And then what Unity will do is it'll mix those two and make your guy lean to the left, right? Um, the basic, this guy had a good picture of it here. If I could find it again. Um, the
Yeah, when I
Unity's,
first when I first saw this animation system, I was like, yeah, I don't have any clue how to do this, but it looks so fluid. And I know that you're a huge advocate and student of this stuff, so you
yep.
you kind of know what you're talking about. But I'm pretty sure you can make some pretty cool stuff with this thing here.
Yeah, so in Unity, this is what your animation system ends up looking like. And each of these white lines is you doing a transition from one animation to another animation. So this orange is stand. Um, Here, let's just say this one right here is walk, and this one right here is run. And in order to go from stand to run in Unity, what you do is you go one of these lines, and you'll have to trigger some sort of trigger or variable that says walk, right?
Right.
Is walking equals true or something like that. And then it'll go whoop, and it'll mesh the two, the stand and the walk, and then he'll start to walk. And then you're walking and you say, is walking equals false? Is running equals true? And you'll go over to run.
Yeah, basically, like in Legend Ball, we have, state machines. I basically use a state
That's kind of what
machine
this is.
system,
Yeah.
and I say, they all kind of link up like a domino, a set of dominoes, because like when I'm in the run state, depending on who you are, you'll have a set of states that you go into when you stop. When you come to a complete stop, you have one if you press like tackle. So all the buttons are configured to jump to different states, which are part of the animation system.
Yep. Yep.
And it's a simpler version of this stuff, but yeah, it
Yep.
makes sense. It makes sense.
So what's motion matching then? Why is that different? Now, think of it this way. Put all of your animations into one big database, right? You're not assigning walk animation to walk, run animation to run, stand animation to stand. In a motion matching system, there aren't any states. It's just one big database of every frame of every animation you own. So it's this massive database of thousands and thousands and thousands of frames of animation and connections from, like your walk animation has this frame connects to this frame connects to this frame connects to this frame. And you have tens of thousands of those in a database. What motion matching will do is it'll say, what does my skeleton look like right now? And if you're standing, your skeleton looks like your feet equidistant apart underneath your shoulders. Your hands are a certain way. Your spine is a certain way. Your head is a certain way. Your hips are a certain way, right? It doesn't know that that's a stand, but it knows what your skeleton looks like. And when you say, like, these little dots, it'll be like, okay, go this direction, right? The green is kind of what direction are you going to go. What motion matching will do then is it will say, to turn from where I am right now to go that direction at this amount of magnitude, whether it's like half stick forward for a walk or a full stick forward for run, what it does is it says, all right, what am I looking for? It goes into this mixer and it says, look in the database and find any animation that is close to where I am now, but gets closer to where I want to go. And it does this search every single frame of where am I now and where do I want to go. And it finds the best animation to play, just one little chunk of it. It plays that, then it does it again and says, okay, now what's the best animation for where I am and where I want to go? Okay, do it again, do it again, do it again. And what you end up with is a string of animation clips, like little tiny frames of animation that may not all be in the same animation clip, right? If I'm running, all of those, like all that animation it's playing may not all come from the same running animation. Instead, it's searching the database for the best pieces and it's stitching them all together into one fluid motion that could be made up of dozens of different pieces of dozens of different animations. But the end result is a really smooth and fluid movement because that's what the AI is doing. Is it's looking for a way to create the most fluid movement based on where am I now, where am I going. It's really cool and it's really powerful. It's easy to use because it's only dependent on your input into it is where do I want to go? And then, obviously there's some settings to tweak and stuff to make it fluid or fast and things like that. But a lot of the heavy lifting is done by the AI. Now, the downside of that is there's a lot of heavy lifting done by the AI, and it could very easily get overwhelming for your game because AI is expensive, right? It's CPU expensive.
Yeah, it sounds like, I know nothing about this and it's like blowing my mind because I wonder, like in that frame, that running example you were saying, like
Yep.
how does it stitch together all of those animations without like totally like screwing up the animation, right? Because like you probably need to combine all of these running states together to know which pieces to. That's a football guy. right?
Now
Guy
he's
with a
just
helmet.
using a bunch of different mocap from a bunch of different clips, and what it's doing is somebody's messing with the joystick, and the AI is figuring out how to put all those pieces together.
Wow. But
Yeah,
you can't make a football game with this. You need
of
more
course you can.
animations,
Yeah.
right? You can?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The problem is you got to have whatever movements you want them to do. You have to have mocap for it.
Right.
So running is easy. There's a million running animations out there. You just gather all the running animation you have and stick them in the database. Works great.
But I'm saying for this thing, does it come preloaded with a bunch of animations for you to use? Like whatever you're seeing
Yeah,
here,
the
what is
package
it?
I'm using this MXM for Unity. You can see at the top here.
Yeah.
It comes with a ton of motion animation. Over the years, I've bought thousands of mocap animations, so I have tons of animation. I'm not worried about that. The trick is for me, like pass blocking. Who's ever made a pass blocking animation? Nobody. The
Yeah.
answer is nobody. Nobody is selling pass block animation. So I would have
I
to make
mean, yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, Stuff like that, running while carrying a football. Nobody is selling that animation, so I have to make that.
You can get an
So
animation from like a guy stealing a lady's purse.
yeah, I mean you could get that. Good luck
Just
finding it
running with a
though.
purse in their hand.
Yeah, good luck finding that mocap data. Just stuff like that, right? Making a tackle is you can't find those. Um,
But
it,
you just dump. I don't know how much experience you have with it yet, but you're saying you can just dump in a bunch of files and it knows how to organize them, or
yep.
you need to be the
Oh
one to
no, that's
organize them.
exactly what it does. Yep.
Wow,
So you
that's
have
pretty
what you
cool.
have is you to make it faster, you organize it in sets. Charlie, here we go. Yeah. What I'm saying is we need a mocap studio. Yes, that's pretty much what I'm.
You have
That's
a
pretty much what
mocap.
I've been saying for 2 years.
You have a mocap studio though.
I'm
Don't
getting
you?
close. Yeah, I can capture my own mocap right now.
But
It's
right now
rough.
we're talking about the Madden Killer game here,
Yeah.
or you're talking about Desktop Dynasties too, also, or
Yeah,
Head Coach, whatever.
I use the same suit for both.
No, I'm saying like this whole thing you're showing here. This is like what? This is for your
This
game
was
you're
the
working on
Madden Killer.
now, or Madden
I
Killer?
I did this for Madden Killer. I'm thinking about using it for Head Coach.
Mm,
Just because frankly it's easier to program for. It's
yeah,
all I have to do is tell the character where to go and the animation is figured out for me. The Unity version, I have to tell the animation system what to do every single step, and that's annoying.
and that's what Mechanim.
That's Mechanim. Yep, that's the thing
Yeah,
with all the boxes and the lines. That's super annoying to manage.
yeah,
I love the idea of the AI doing it for me. I just worry because my game AI is pretty heavy, so I worry it might be too much.
yeah. I constantly think about Unity too. You know that I've thought about like trying to mess around with Unity, but I've spent so long in Game Maker. I've learned a lot. Like to go to Unity, I'd have to be starting from scratch again. It's hard to make that kind of decision if I go to a second, you know, different game, especially if I don't. I mean, only if I don't work on Legend Bowl, because I'm not gonna. If I worked on Legend Bowl, I'd stick with Game Maker, no problem. But if I work on something different, like the game we were just talking about, like Football Tactics and Glory, then I might jump into Unity. But I don't know, man. It's like starting from scratch to do all this over again in
Check it
Unity.
out.
But
My wife wanted me to show off my new logo mug.
nice. You got merch.
For my this is my anniversary mug.
Sasquatch.
Got this for our anniversary. She got me a mug with our Desktop Dynasties team logo, my favorite team, the Sasquatch.
That's a pretty cool gift. There's not much more
That's
you
pretty
can
cool.
get better than that. Yeah. You have a nice wife. Very nice.
Yeah. All right, so that's enough of that motion matching stuff. Let's turn that off.
Now I'm thinking about what did my wife get me? She's got to step up her game. I got this from Charlie and the guys, though. Charlie, you know about this. This is the old Buffalo Steel logo from
like
back
that
in the
one.
day. It's a little mini. I have it right here, Charlie. I see it all day, every day. It's kind of dusty, though. I got to dust it off. So yeah, you know that this thing back here, man. This
Your arcade game.
I love this thing. I
I
never use
remember
it.
when you got that. Yeah.
I don't even use it ever, and I want to use it so bad, man. But I'm thinking about. I thought about getting Dusty like the Bills. I thought about getting not this year, man. We're on. We're projected to do some great things, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not getting out of my seat too early yet with them. They're man, it's stressful watching them every year, but I love. Man, I was telling my wife this morning. I'm like, part of the reason why I get down is because there's no football right now. When football season's
Oh
not in,
yeah.
I'm like lost, bro, for like 6 months, man. I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? But
I
when
don't have
football
football
season
to
comes
watch.
back in,
Yeah.
it kind of fills in the holes for me, you know. But going back to this arcade here, like it's an awesome arcade system. I want to get back into like I want to get into playing it. I just never really do it. I can't get into playing any game. That's part of my problem. I've been telling you. I've been trying to find games. And View, I saw you watching that bear game, beer and breakfast or bear and breakfast, whatever. And that's a cool concept. I mean, it looks too RPG-ish for me, but that game is. I sometimes wonder about making games like that where I can reach an audience that like loves bears and like the Fox guy, you know,
Yeah.
like
That's what
yeah.
I'm
And
playing right
you've
now.
been playing that game, and
Yep.
and how is it? I mean, tell me
I
about it.
love this game. It's
You love it?
I
Mm.
do. I don't know why. It's got just the it just hits me just right. I love space games. You and I talk about making a space game all the time. Love space games.
I
This
always just get overwhelmed with how much like it's like space games just become like too much like detail. Like you have to
See,
look at
that's why I
every
like
little.
this game. It's not a ton of detail. I the weapon system, it's just one mouse button. That's all I do, right? And it's W to move forward. You move the mouse around to steer. It always steers at your mouse, and I right click to shoot all my missiles. That's it, right? It's super simple, but it's kind of like got a Diablo 2 vibe, right? It's about collecting loot and upgrading your ship, and then going. I'm playing as a pirate, so and then I go and shoot up other guys. The graphics hit me just right. They're just nice enough. They're colorful enough. Um,
But
I
what's
don't know.
the
It's just
point of
really
the
fun.
game? Like when you
It's like a
go in and
space version of Diablo.
yeah, I don't play Diablo, but
Oh,
when you go into this type of game, like what is your like what will be your goal? You just mess around in a sandbox
oh
and you
yeah, that's
find
all
what you
I do. I don't know if there's a story. I just basically fly around and shoot guys and collect and um, upgrade my ship, get better missiles, get faster.
it looks pretty cool. I might need to pick it up.
It's
I put it
so
on my wish
chill. It's
list.
super simple. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
jump to a galaxy, fly in. You either mine. You could be a miner or a trader. You could be friends with everybody. I obviously went the opposite route, and I just blow up every ship I see. So
That's pretty cool.
it's
I might need to pick that up. That View says that Bear and Breakfast game, his stream blew up, and I just looked at his stream, and yeah, you're right, man. You have like so many more views. Like it's like I don't even know like how many more. You have 430 views versus your last was 39, and then 82, and then 3, and then so people love their bears, man, and
oh
it's
my
like
god.
I know it sounds crazy. I actually like a bear better than a fox. I mean, personally, those damn foxes, man, get out of here. Give me a
I'll
bear, and
take a
that's
bear
cool.
game over a fox game
Yeah,
too.
I'll take a bear game too. But it's like, this is pretty cool. But like I was telling you, Shawn, like even this right here, that trailer, it took somebody to like maybe Fiverr or something. They paid someone to do this cool little scene here. And I know Charlie, I know you were working on that Legend Bowl thing for me or for yourself a while back, and that was pretty cool too. No one's ever really seen it, but like it's nice to have all of these nice artistic concept graphics and these trailers that look pretty cool. Like this stuff goes a long way, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
but what's
That's
cool
the
about this
benefit of
game?
having artists on your team, right?
Yeah, it is. And what's cool about this game is that you like the art. I could probably hand draw some of this stuff myself. And look at that art. Like you're telling me you can't hand draw some of this? It's not that
I
crazy.
can't.
You really can't.
Dude, I
It
can't
doesn't.
even pick. I can't even choose a font correctly.
But
Like
this is like
I can't
hand
draw
drawn
at all.
cartoon art, man.
Not at
I don't
all.
know.
No, I'm like at heart, I'm like a pure engineer. I have no artistic ability
I
whatsoever.
mean, I'm not
I
trying to
can make
discount.
anything work with any like I could build you a nuclear reactor with like two sticks and a band-aid, but to draw a picture of a bear, I would sit there and just I'd be lost.
Well, I'm not saying I can't draw that concept art right there. I can't do that. But like the actual art in the game, I mean, I'm not saying it's like super easy, but that doesn't look like it's that hard. They took a pen, they started a tablet, whatever, they started drawing, and boom, bang, bang, boom, they did it. But now they have shading, they have certain colors, but it doesn't to me, it doesn't look that hard. But it would still take me a while. Like everything on here to draw that on its own, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
full-time artist
Oh,
working
for sure.
constantly.
For
So I know
sure.
it's a lot of work, but I think about this game because I think about that groundskeeper game I was talking about where you're this guy on a golf course and you're managing things. But I think it'd be cool to work on some kind of a game where you can. Yeah, that's cool. He has a hat on. I mean, like I know that I don't know, man. I don't know. I start thinking about different when I'm away from Legend Bowl, I start thinking about everything under the sun and what I would maybe want to do. But I do know a lot of it. A lot of it hinges upon having an artist, man. And
Yeah.
if you don't have one, then what do? You buy assets or you have to hire
Yep.
someone on Fiverr. It's really hard, man, as a
It
solo
is.
developer to get all this stuff done. If you don't do your own art, and even if you do your own art, then you're splitting up your time between art
Yep.
and the game. But dude, you could draw that. You could draw that.
There's zero chance I could draw that. You don't understand how bad I am. I make stick figures for the kids when I like draw pictures for them, and even they look like crap.
Oh, now I don't know how they're doing the walking animation for that bear. That's a little tricky for me because it looks very fluid the way he moves his arms back and forth. And I've been thinking about getting this game ever since Phenomenal View was playing it. The game already has 441 reviews, and it
Oh
just
my
came
god,
out like 2 days ago, right? So they're gonna do very well.
they're gonna
I
do all
guarantee
right.
you that.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that. And it's
I
not
would love to make
football.
some of this stuff, but like you said, like where would I get all the art? I would
You
spend
got you
all my
gotta pay, you
time.
gotta pay someone or find a way to do it yourself.
Yeah,
But I tell you what,
there's just no way I'd be able to get that much art.
but I could do this art more than I can do any other art that I've seen.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's still hard. And I don't know. I might be just talking trash because I might not be able to do it. But I just find this cartoon style to be a little easier.
yeah, I can do what I've got. If I ever come up with a game that uses Cinti assets, I'll be set because I have like all of their assets.
Oh, the what's it called? Syntix or something?
Cinti,
Syn-
these guys right here, I'll show you.
I think I've downloaded them a while
You
ago.
probably have a few.
Oh
These
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, that low poly stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
like
think I downloaded one of their scenes for that one wheel game I was gonna make.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I ever when I ever need to make a game with in this style, I'm set because I've got pretty much every single pack that they sell. I have I probably couple $1,000 worth of Cinti assets.
You have
So I'm
cats?
set if I ever want to make a game like that.
You guys have cats in your house? You're a cat owner?
No, this is
Oh.
just my background.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't have
Cats are
cats.
I wish I did, but everybody's allergic in my
Yeah, I'm
house.
allergic to them too, but so I'm not really a cat person. But it's not that I don't like them. I'm allergic to them.
Yeah, I like them.
Um, but I was thinking about the that bear game, and I was thinking that would it be cool to make a football like coach game? But then I say to myself, no, if you're gonna make a game like that, don't pigeonhole yourself. Like my publisher says, do not make another sports game. If you're gonna make another game, don't make a sports game. And I'm like, really? I'm like, but I love football and I love sports. I love golf and basketball and all the different sports out there. I'm
You
a fan
know,
of a lot of them, but at the same time, sports, when you do a sports game, you're totally cutting your legs and arms off. And it's like, I can make a cute bear game, and all of a sudden I'm on the front page of IGN. And it's like, okay,
yeah,
what the hell did I do? I made a bear, and people love bears. So we have to find an animal that we love,
yeah,
that people love. Fox guy.
I know. We'll be that guy then. We'll make a game about squirrels. We'll be Squirrel Dev.
If anybody read our messages, they
Oh
they
my
definitely
god.
think I was definitely a loser, pure loser. The things
Maybe,
I was sending today were depressing.
maybe like, can you guys focus once in a while? And the answer would be no,
I
we
can't.
can't.
I can't for sure. Yeah, pixel art's awesome, Jesse. I love it too, but pixel art's really hard to do. I can't do pixel art, man. And my artist that I use, the artist I use for Legend Bowl, like this guy's awesome, and he never wants to do pixel art again. Like the work it takes for him to do pixel art takes like 20 times longer than what it takes him to do some really high quality 3D stuff. And he's like, pixel art's dead, man. I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm like, geez,
Your
don't say that.
artist is like, screw you.
He is. He doesn't want to do it anymore. I wish he did, man. I think it'd be kind of cool because Legend Ball could use some more animations, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I
need
don't
to get
know.
myself into something new because I can't. Another thing, I've been starting to add things to Legend Ball. Like I put motion, pre-snap motion in. I'm getting some new plays in. I want to get some definitely new formation. I have all that stuff coming for the next version. And then I got kind of cut off because my publisher and I were talking and it
Yeah.
just makes no sense to do it. I talked to you about it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to do it because they're changing the code around and whatever. It sucks because I wish I could work on it right now, but I really can't. So then I
Yeah.
say, okay, I'm going to go work on the same thing we've talked about. I'm going to go work on another game. And that's when I look at a game like the Bear game and I'm like, that'd be awesome. But I know that's a 2-3 year game. That's not a
Yep.
6-month game. They have a crew of people working there and they've worked on it for 2.5 years. And they have at least two to four people. I don't even know.
Yeah, I keep thinking if I want to do a different game, I want to use all the stuff that I've developed over the last few years. Like, I would love to make a game, a non-sports genre game that still focuses on team management and tactics. But then I'm like, all right, I put a prototype like that together, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, called Questionable Hero, if anybody remembers that. And the problem is there's not that much to do in other genres when you put the team together. So if you think about like a role playing team, all right, once you do all the team management, you get them together. Like, what do you do? You don't draw up plays, you don't draw up strategies. They just kind of do what they do, right? So then if you try to design, then you start to evolve the game to um, incorporate more tactics, and then all of a sudden now you're just creating a war game. It's like, well, there's a million war games out there. I don't want to do that. So sports is a really good. I keep telling everybody, football is like the perfect mix of short-term tactics and long-term strategy. And it's hard to find something non-sports that mixes the two as well as sports does.
I mean, what do you guys think in the comments? Like, you guys are all Legend Bowl fans. I know you guys also, you check out Shawn's channel and what he's doing. You guys are football fans. I mean, do you guys see potential for our games, like for Legend Bowl on console, and also for Shawn's game that he's making with head coach? Like, what do you guys think about that? And you guys could tell us the truth. Like, we don't care. You could tell us those games are both going to be trash.
Yeah, everybody can
They're
tell
not.
me head coach is going to suck, and I'm still going to make it.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing.
I'm so far beyond worrying about what people think.
I
Like
know,
I've been burned on that too many times. Now I'm just like, whatever. I'm gonna make this game, and
and
I'll be
that's
the
kind
only
of.
one that plays it. Who cares?
I know. It's kind of smart to be that way because then you can keep focused and keep your head down and you can like do you know how many times my son or anybody would come in and they'd be like, "This your game's trash." When I
Oh
was
yeah, I hear
first
that
making
all
it,
the
like people
time.
would look at it and they say, "This isn't gonna sell, this isn't gonna do anything." And it's done awesome. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was on Walker Texas Ranger, for God's sake. Oh, you got the old school,
the old school. Well, you got that old school. You playing that old yeah, the game
which
just
is
came
funny
out.
too because it's a game that's brand new, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you got the old school."
Yeah. I don't
It
think
was
you're
even
gonna be the
funnier to realize they weren't playing. That was great.
I know,
Like
they weren't even playing the
they weren't
game.
even playing.
It
And
was
in the
me.
I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if it's if it showed up on TV, but on YouTube, you can hear you get a Discord notification in the middle of that clip. I think that went out on TV.
Probably. Probably. I got paid for that. I mean, not a lot, but I got paid. That was pretty cool. That was one of those things where you're like, that was kind of nice. I mean, I mean, I don't think about things like that often, but that's a cool thing. So,
Yeah, I just had to throw up phenomenal view just because I'm going to plant this flag out there, right? Um, Speaking of Super Mega Baseball, my I tell Hava this all the time. My long-term strategy for head coach football is, first of all, make a really fun game that's really fun to play and make it kind of like the Football Manager version for American football, right? Anybody who's seen Football Manager, there's a million live streams and YouTube channels based solely around playing Football Manager. There's a lot of professional YouTubers who do nothing but play Football Manager. It's really big for how small that company was when they got going and how simple the game is. So I'm going to make an American football version of that, basically, is what I'm doing. Now, wouldn't it be cool if someday down the road they decide they want an American football version of Football Manager and they come a knocking and I say, hello, how are you doing? And they say, we like what you're doing. Here's a pile of money, right? Or join our studio and we'll publish your game or whatever else. Because I do know a few years ago they were trying to get an American football version of Football Manager. And they just happened to partner up with one of the worst football dev human beings I've ever met. And things predictably didn't work out, which was the most obvious end state that like anybody could have called that. The guy, there's no way he works well with anybody. What a shock that it didn't work out with Psy Games. But that just means opportunities for other people, right? So,
Yeah, I don't know
Games,
how the
if you're
hell.
listening, give me a call.
Yeah, getting picked up by a company like that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty
It
cool.
would be. That'd be several years down the road from here, though. But wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, but I mean, it's something to think about and look forward to if it happens. People are making comments about both of our games, and from the question I asked, and they all have different opinions about things. And there's one for head coach.
Yep. Just Tyler. That is exactly what this game is going to be. Except you're also going to get the playable high school league. So your players from high school will get recruited and go into college, and then they will move on to the pros if they're good enough, obviously. And then they will have pro careers. And then if they are good enough and have the right ratings, they will then come back as coaches in high school or college and start a coaching career then, which will carry them through. So like it's this universe where players just cycle through leagues and do cool things. That's kind of the whole point of head coach. It's that story of a player.
Your players can become coaches.
Yeah. And you
That's
as the player.
crazy.
So let's say Javo decides to start the game. You could start as like a special teams coordinator, and that's your role on games, right? And in roster building, you don't get to build the whole roster. You're a special teams coordinator. You just worry about your special teams depth chart. And maybe you get promoted to offensive coordinator, and now you set offensive depth charts and call offensive plays until you prove yourself, and then you become the head coach football, and that's when you get total control over everything.
You should call it Football Coach Simulator, like the GOAT Simulator.
Could you come up with a more boring name than that?
Waterboy Simulator.
Oh man,
we're a bunch of losers if you really think about it. Like we love football so much that we take it to the extreme when it comes to things, but we're just trying to. I know. Like I still try to find a game I want to play. I still can't find a game I want to play.
Tough.
I was playing FIFA with my son last night. He's always begging me to play, and I played with him last night, and it was fun. And but I don't play games anymore. I want to play games.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I have a tough time. But Star Valor's cool, but I can only play it for like 20 minutes at a time, 30 minutes at a time before I get bored.
Yeah, because you end up wanting to work on your game.
That's
and you
exactly
don't want to.
What happens. Yep, I start thinking about all the stuff I got to do. I was like, oh man, I gotta make these logos. I gotta get.
You got a lot of work. You're an indie studio.
I know.
One man.
My game camera's not resetting right. I gotta fix that. I gotta do this right.
You got to do this. You got to do that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see, man. I can't,
Yeah,
man. The console thing for me is so huge
yeah,
because
that's big.
I don't, it sucks because I don't really have high expectations, but I need it to get out for me to keep moving. Kind of. So for me, it's like I kind of want it to just go so I can keep going, but I
Yeah,
also, you really don't know what it can do. I know the game has done so much better than games that have done great on console, sports games. Like it's done better on PC than those games have done.
yep,
Like Super Mega Baseball, it's done just as well practically on PC as much as they do. So does that mean it's going to do great on console? Probably not, because they had luck. They came out earlier. They had some more strings. But who knows? I just don't
yeah,
know. And we're talking about doing retail sales as well. There's a lot of things that the publisher is throwing out there that they want to do. So I'm just excited to see what possibilities there are, because I think that there's definitely, I mean, it's not like I sold 10 copies on Steam and I'm like, okay, well, hopefully consoles kill it. It's done well enough where there's a chance,
I know
and
it's
and I
possible. We
know
got a shot.
I know if it comes out for Switch, or when it comes out for Switch, it's not if, it's going to come out for Switch. I'm probably going to be playing it too, because I want to play a game that I could just bring along with me and jump on. But yeah, we'll see. That's something that I can't really control.
Yeah, this is not you. That's the notification Steam gives me every month. So things could be
Yeah,
worse, Havo.
I know. But like I always tell you, I sometimes wish I had that, because then it would make my life easy. I'd go get a job. I'd
Yeah,
make a
because you'd
lot
be
more
like,
money
this
than
is dumb.
I'd make a lot more money than I make now, and it's like, okay. But I mean, I hear you. I know I always throw that stuff in your face, like, oh man, I hate my life. I hate. Then you're probably like, dude, you're making money. Shut up. Like, just keep going. And I
Yeah,
get that, but I don't know. I don't. It's not. It's funny because I'm not complaining about the money so much as I'm just like, I get lost with the work that it takes and what I'm doing, and doesn't make sense, and the burnout. And I've been doing it for 5 years. You've been doing it
yeah.
for a long time too, and it's just like, woof,
Oh yeah, I
it
quit
beats you
once.
up, man.
I know the feeling. Yeah,
It beats you up. But that's why
yeah.
I'm waiting. And if it does very well, then I'll be one of the lucky ones that made it. But I won't be game. One thing I won't be game Jesus, like game
Oh
dev
my god.
Jesus. Like, I made it, so you
Oh,
guys
I just
follow me.
everybody do what I do. Yeah.
I hate
Oh my
that.
god, that
You
guy.
have two of those Elgato lights up. What do you have in front of you? The
Um.
lights.
Oh,
I
that's my
see them.
kitchen. That's just my kitchen.
Oh, I
Here,
thought you
I'll
had
show
the
you.
two
Here.
lights.
Hang on. Hang on.
But you're
Yeah.
oh,
So
okay.
here's the tour. That's my office. I'll turn a little bit that way. That's like my wife's office and our little TV room. And the
Nice.
kitchen is right there.
Nice.
See, that's what these lights. That's what you're seeing.
Ah, okay.
And then if you go the other way, that's that little corner you sometimes see me in.
Wow. You
Yeah.
have like
So
your
like,
own little like bungalow down there.
yeah, it's like this little tiny nook. It's right in the
That's a
middle of
cool
all the action, though. So when you see me looking up here, it's because somebody's making food in the kitchen.
Somebody's eating peanut butter and jelly. That's a cool place to be though, because like my tour, I
Oh,
can't really do it.
thanks.
My phone is or my camera is stuck on here. I can't really do a tour. My tour is gonna be like going left and going right. It's a closet with a door, and then I have a TV on that wall, and then I have this here, and now I just broke the signal, and that's pretty much it for me. But over here I have like a TV on the wall. You can't even twist it. There's a TV.
Oh,
My
that's
wife's
funny.
desk is right next to me. But anyways, whatever. Like,
Yeah, you
I'm
see
just in a
my new
room.
setup, man. I haven't shown you this yet. Like double
Nice.
monitors. I got the
Ooh.
Rode. I got the Streamlab. I got all my
See, that's
drinks
what
and
you get
stuff.
when you have money.
Oh my god.
I don't have those kind of curved monitors. Those are pretty
Wait a
badass.
minute. How do I? What did I do?
What do you have? You have three of those monitors or two of them?
I got two now. I just got my second one because for the streaming, I'm gonna start doing having two monitors is just really easy to throw. Like we were just practicing right now. I can throw content on one and I can see the stream on the other one.
But you have the
That's been
curved
much
the
better.
curved ones, the ones that
Yeah, I got
curve.
two curved ones. Yeah, just
And how do you like
MSI.
those?
Yeah, they're just MSI. The Optimax ones are like $160 each. I love them. They're not super expensive. They're 27 inch. Um, not real expensive, but they're also not the chintzy, crappy ones either. It seems to be about the right level for me.
Yeah, because I have what are these 24s? I have two Asus. They're nice monitors, but they're older. They're like 6 years, 5 years old
Yeah.
now. So they're old, but I have two, the old school two side by side regular ones. They're nothing great. I think they're 24-inch ones and they work for what I need. And I've thought many times to upgrade my PC, but then I said, for what? What game do I really need to play that I need
Yeah.
the extra boost? And but I know I'm missing out on something when it comes to the monitor. I know there's something that's gotta be a better look than what I'm doing now. I need
Yeah,
to
I
figure
like
that
these
one
because
out.
they're really sharp. I get no glare, which is awesome because my eyes are really sensitive to light. So I get no glare at all, which is great. And they're big enough so I can zoom in on my code and I don't have to struggle to see it. But they're not so big that I'm moving my head all over to see everything. It's just like the perfect size for me.
Pretty cool, dude. Pretty cool. Any new
Yeah,
updates to your gear? Like any of your audio visual stuff changing?
everything's
No.
still the same. It's been pretty good. I think um, we'll take a look as I start streaming more and using. Like I'm really curious how this stream sounded and looked and everything. So I'm gonna
I think it
watch
looks
that.
awesome. I love it.
Seems to be pretty good. We'll just see if I have to adjust anything, but I'm kind of looking forward to that. But I think, like, I think everything seems to be all right for right now. I got to do a little light management, but other than that, I think we're getting there.
You're cooking. You're cooking
Yeah.
with mustard
Let me tell
here.
you my two favorite things, right? That Rode that I got, that Rodecaster Pro.
What does that thing even do? What does that
I don't
do?
know, but it does all the work for me. I don't
So you
have
got
to.
rid of the DBX 100
Got
thing
rid
we
of
have?
both of
Or 80?
those.
No.
Yep. Both of those things I had set up, and I just plug right into the Rode, and it balances and fixes the sound. It does everything for me, which has been amazing. I just plug
So
in and go. That's
so
it.
that's like your preamp now.
Yeah. Yep.
And it also does all the stuff that the DBX 286 did?
Yep. It does all of it.
Mm.
Yep. And it's got there are certain microphones that it has programs preloaded for. So if you just select the microphone, it automatically sets up all the settings for you, which is the coolest thing ever.
Wow. And
Yeah,
what's
I
it called?
love that.
The Rode what? Rode.
Rodecaster Pro.
All right.
That's
You're gonna get
awesome.
me to spend more money.
I know, seriously. And then my two monitor setup, I'm super happy with. And then hopefully this what StreamYard ends up being the next big thing. This has been really easy to set up. This is way easier than using OBS. So
I like it, man.
I'm
I
kind of
like
loving
it.
this so far. Yeah,
And your stream quality is better than like your internet
seems like
holds up
it.
a lot better than mine does.
Yeah, this seems really nice. I've been really happy with this so far. So I'm curious to watch it back and see how it looks. Like you saw how easy it was for me to bring up screens to share. I don't know, pretty cool. I like
Maybe they
it.
can sponsor us at some point,
That'd be cool. That would be cool, actually.
And we
Yeah.
could. We could do that. And you got rid of their logo too. You don't need to show their logo.
Took out the logo. Yeah, I'm gonna start working
Damn.
on this brand thing. You can set up a brand, but I don't have a company logo that I really love yet, and I don't have a game logo, so maybe a little early for that.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't have anything else to talk about. This was a good experiment. And oh, you got more comments.
I just throw out the last little comment. Jesse, thank us for showing stuff. Yeah, I don't know, Jesse, if you've been at a lot of our rant / discussions, but we like to show off behind the scenes stuff just because football, Madden is never going to show you how stuff works behind the scenes. So why not?
They don't.
Right?
No, they do that on purpose.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to see how football games are made because when I got into it, I didn't know. Pablo, I'm sure you didn't know.
Yeah. Well, you did a good job hosting.
Thanks.
The comments are pretty cool. I like to see those.
Yeah, that's fun. That's going to be fun. Hopefully
like to
there's
see
more
them.
features I can find in there because that's going to be really fun for me.
Yeah, I definitely like them, and we should keep them more. We should keep them up most of the time. Like keep all of them up as we go through and talk about them, and and that's part of the thing. But we just jumped on today. Hopefully, we can get. I mean, I don't know. We do these for fun. We were talking about YouTube, and you think about getting a new I think about getting a new camera. I think about and I'm like, why? What am I doing? YouTube. I'm not trying to be
just
the
for
next.
fun. Right?
It's just for fun, you know. So,
it's
but
like I was telling you, it's just to keep me motivated. That's why I keep doing it.
right, and it's fun to talk to you because we know we don't get to talk all the time, and
Yeah.
I like to just kind of just have some fun and talk about things and talk to the community and grow the, we want to grow the community though. We want people to obviously watch what we're doing, and we like to share what we're doing, and we hope that people enjoy what we're doing, but yeah, this is for fun, pure fun. But
so I'll probably have one of these going a few times a week as like I said, as I'm doing the grind stuff. So everybody feel free to jump on. If Hava wants to jump on while I'm grinding through stuff, I can bring him on screen too if he wants to.
yeah, I'll be checking you out. I'll see you jump on, and I'll probably be around at some point.
Yeah,
But
it'll get more fun when we get to play development. But for right now, it's just like uniform development and team uniforms and team logos. But play development will be fun to get everyone.
Yeah,
On.
like you phenomenal view. You do a lot of videos, man. Like you're constantly doing videos and streams, and I don't know what your goal is, but it sounds like you're doing them for fun also. But as you know, it starts to become work. But whenever I go play a game,
turn it into work, it becomes work.
It becomes work, and then you're like, I mean, it is work. I mean, but then there are times when I go to play a game and I'm like, do I want to stream it? Do I not? And I say to myself, why do I even think about streaming? Like, why do I even like bother with it? Because I just want to play a game, and then YouTube could become addicting, even if you're a small channel. Like, I don't consider my channel to be big at all, but I know when I first started, 5,000, I have like a little over 5,000 subscribers, and that's pretty damn good. Like when I first started, I was like, I mean, to get 1,000 was hard, but now that I think back to where I started, I'm like, 5,000's not that bad, but it's nothing in the grand scheme of the big guys.
It's not make any money type size.
No, I make like pennies on the, like I might have made $100 over all the last 10 years of me doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be for fun. That's all I'm going for. Like I said, keep me motivated.
You should become the next Mr. Beast.
Oh, good Lord. That's the last thing I want to do is have to rely on YouTube for income. Oh, my God. Talk about scary. Talk about being on the high wire. Yikes.
I think indie dev's even worse.
Well, it's worse because we don't make any money.
That's what I mean.
Do I have to show you that email I got again?
And that's what's crazy is I'm actually making some money, man. Like I'm making money,
That's not bad.
Not bad. I'm making something. I just don't really appreciate it because it's still, I appreciate it. I just don't appreciate it like I probably should because it's still minimum wage, less than minimum wage, but it's something.
No.
I'm just happy I was able to build the game I wanted to build, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was cool, bro. Keep this. I might end up getting this too at some point.
It's pretty sweet. I'm using it once now. I'm very happy with it. So.
I love the comment thing. That's my
it's
my
so
favorite
much fun.
thing.
It's really cool.
I love it. All right, cool, bro.
That's enough for today.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.